Hello, everyone. Once again, I'm here to read the book How to Make a Living from Music. And I'll be reading chapter 2, which is titled Building a Team. At the beginning of an author or performer's career, they would need to first and foremost focus on their art and making great music that an audience would like and want to listen to. I think for this stage, it's just someone coming to the point where you're like, oh, I really love to sing, or I really love this music career. And then at that point, it's moving from just a hobby, something that you sing privately in your house, just for your family members, or while you're in the shower. Now you're thinking about how to take it forward. And so at this point of taking it forward, you then need to start thinking about production, or if you're an author that just writes, you can actually now start looking for people who can take up your work to perform. In the early stages, the artist, with perhaps the help of a friend or family member, would have to do everything themselves. I remember when I first started music, when I decided to take my music out of just singing for my mother and my siblings and all that. Of course, I had to do most of the things myself. I had to raise the money myself. I had to go through different studios and decide on the studio I wanted to work with. I had to pay for the studio. I had to go for the sessions myself. And then after the work was produced, I had to distribute the work myself at that time. And that was it. I had to just do everything myself. And of course, I had my siblings follow me to the studio once in a while, but I did most of the registrations myself. I did the vocals and the backups myself and all. So a pure author would need to persuade artists to perform and hopefully record their work. So this is like for a songwriter or a composer. And then a performer would need to form a band or ask other musicians to perform with him or her, organize rehearsals, and try to get some live work in small venues. Yes, so for some people, they write their song and they perform it themselves, or while some people, they get people who would write their songs and then they do the performance themselves. But for studios generally, by the time you go there, probably the producer might decide to use his technological tools to come up with the soundtracks and all that. Or some would ask if you want live performances, and then they will get different people, different instrumentalists or musicians to play different sounds for you, like the keyboardist, the bassist, the drummers and all that. So for you to get those people, you might have to pay them independently, sign agreements with them, and these people would come together to then rehearse with you and all that. So as someone who is starting in the industry, you would most likely have to do that yourself. And then even sourcing for places where you can sing, promoting your work, you would necessarily have to do that yourself. Or you might have one or two family members that might be open to help you, or very close friends. And so this is just a short part of the book, and it's how to make a living from music. I hope you've learned something today.